Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on when you're watching this video. My name is Rich, and I am a promoter out in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am working for the Hakkasan and Tao group. So if you or your friends are coming out to Vegas, definitely hit me up. Text the number on the screen, 281-729-6500, for any information you need on Vegas or guest lists. Now, I don't want to waste a lot of time. This is called the Stacked Live podcast. And Stacked Live is an app that I've been working on for quite some time that deals with cocktail waitresses, exotic dancers, servers. Um, if you could end up in a bikini or less at work, then this app is going to be for you. Now, during the time that I've been working on this app, I've been able to travel to many different places and get some feedback from the talent that actually work in these industries. So that's right. The servers, the bartenders, the cocktail waitresses, exotic dancers, go-go dancers, um, promoters, shot girls, you name it, I've talked to them. And most recently, I traveled down to Frisco, Texas, to a place called Wild Pitch. It is a sports bar slash restaurant. We're going to call it a restaurant because they have a full menu and the food is actually excellent there. They took really good care of me, and I was able to meet several of the talent that work in that restaurant, and it was pretty cool. They were all very receptive, very kind, and willing to answer my questions. And today, on our first episode of the podcast, because remember, I don't want to waste anyone's time, we have a server that was there that day. Her name is Bella, and we are going to bring her in right now.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
How are
How are
you?
you? I'm
I'm
good, good. It's
good.
good to see you again.
You as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I was just telling the audience how awesome y'all's place is, and I really appreciated the hospitality. But I really kind of want to dive into getting to know a little bit more about you and your experience in the industry. You've told me some pretty great things, but I'm hoping you'll share with our viewers and you'll give them a chance to get to know you a little bit better. So, without further ado, here's Bella.
I don't know. I never thought that I would end up in the industry, I guess. I
Okay.
kind of grew up around it. So, like, my dad took me to Hooters a lot growing up.
Okay.
He worked closely with some of the people there. So, it was it was kind of normal for me. Um, and I always thought everyone was so pretty there, and I was, in my head, I was like, wow, one day I want to do that. Every kid I think wants to be a server at least once or twice in their life for some reason. But a restaurant
Listen,
server.
listen. I completely understand that. I've wanted to work at Hooters or Twin Peaks or any of those places my entire life. But go ahead, go ahead. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I guess in the back of my head I was like, yeah, I want to do that one day. They're really pretty. I want to be like that one day. And then here I am in Frisco, Texas.
So, what actually prompted you to get started? I know you say you wanted to do it, since you were little, but like, what was the moment that you just said, you know what, I'm going to do this?
So I used to live in Jacksonville, Florida. I was born and raised there. Um I I was serving for a lot of my time being there. One of my first jobs ever was serving at a Cuban restaurant, and I'm such a social person that it just kind of was easy for me. Take the orders and write it down, be nice to people. It wasn't really a tough thing.
You mean just like be a decent human being
Yeah, it
to
costs nothing to be a
people?
nice person.
Cost nothing. That's the
um,
truth.
Yeah, so my best friend at the time actually had been living in Frisco, and she worked at Wild Pitch. I came to visit her in June of 2020, and she told me that the manager uh, was like, "Oh, I'd love to hire her," and I didn't really take her seriously.
Wait,
Um,
this is just just off of looks and like,
yeah, like I think I briefly met him, and yeah, he was like, "Wow, she's pretty. I'd love to hire her." And I didn't know if, she was just saying that or if like he was being serious or not, but I didn't really take it. I took it with a grain of salt.
Mhm.
I was like, well, he probably says that to everyone, Um, but yeah, so I didn't really think much about it, and then I was married like a little while after that, and I ended up getting divorced. So fresh start, I had lived in Jacksonville my whole life. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if that job is worth it. I'm gonna I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try it. It's different. I've done everything from like debt collection to receptionist at physician's office, and it's all been fun. But serving is just really it's the most convenient thing right now. Being in school and doing all that. So I came here in January of
Mhm.
this year. I was planning on just trying it out for a month and seeing if it was worth it, if I could have a stable income and support myself, because I had never like really been by myself. So yeah, I came here January 10th, started January 14th, and I never left. The job made me feel so confident. I met such great people. I got to talk to people from sometimes around the world every day, and definitely around Texas. I got to learn new things, meet new people, and I got to be my social butterfly self, and it's kind of addicting. In Florida, I was used to, getting my tips, and then like I would get like a 2-week check every 2 weeks. I would get a check on top of that. So, but the thing in Florida is I wouldn't make that much in tips. Here in Texas, uh, we only get paid like $2 an hour, which is something that I was not used to and I didn't know. So we don't really get checks. It's all tip based, and I don't think people really understand that. Which is why I say like people should have to work in the service industry at least once in their life. But the tips are good, I guess, more so because our tits and ass are out. But some people love that. Like I've had tables come in on Saturdays, and we call Saturdays Sassy Saturday. And the amount of people that like, because I'm nice to all my tables. Like if I joke around with my tables, it's different. Um, but I've had people genuinely be like, "So aren't you supposed to be like an asshole to us today?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Well, it's Sassy Saturday. Like, aren't can you be mean to me?" And I'm like, "I mean, I can be, but that's not what that
Bruh,
means."
make that person your regular.
Yeah, and I mean, they've
Okay,
come to see me regularly since then. Because I
okay.
mean, I go along with it. But if someone's a genuinely mean person, I obviously would not tell them to be mean to their tables. I would say say it's a new girl that had never been in a restaurant before, is kind of shy, isn't 1,000,000% confident in herself yet, which is how I was when I first started at Wild Pitch. Because like I said, I'd never worked in that, environment before. I'd seen it, but um, I'd never worked in it. So one of the biggest things that my manager, you know, one of his biggest tips that he ever gave me was walk around like you own this place, and people will just they'll be drawn to your confidence. And it really it did work. I found my confidence there, and I think once I found that, I found most of my regulars.
That's awesome.
Obviously, being myself, I'm a very colorful person.
Mhm.
I have a big personality, and I'm a social butterfly, so I can talk someone's ear off clearly. Tip wise, say there's someone who's just clearly not being nice, clearly is belittling us. You know, First sign of belittlement, um, you know, working at Pitch specifically, we are one big team. We're like a family. So, our managers, like our girls, like we have each other's backs. So, I personally, I've seen people, give us nasty looks. I've had women tell me they'd never work in a place like this. I am a gay woman, so I've had men, comment on the Instagram, like, why would I want to sit with someone who's gay, using slurs, and those people instantly get blocked if they show any hateful, negative comments on our social media. It's blocked.
Wow.
If they come into the restaurant, you know, if they are, just a little bit of an asshole, whatever, I'll put up with it personally. I'm not going to get anyone, kicked out or anything for being rude. Maybe they're having a bad day. But if it's like slurs that they're, throwing
Mm,
around or things like that, they're asked to leave. Just because, it's already an environment where we're kind of put under pressure.
mhm.
So the last thing that anyone needs, not just us, the customers, the last thing that anyone needs is even more negativity in there,
Yeah,
and thankfully, for the most part, we've experienced some pretty positive people coming in, so
good.
that's awesome. But I don't know, it's it's a restaurant, anywhere that you expose yourself more than you're comfortable with, there's gonna be those people who are like, oh, someone's put on weight, oh, someone's lost weight, oh, you have to kind of grow a shell towards
Yeah,
that. And like I said, the girls, the managers, we all have each other's back. So if anyone was to put us down, it's it's rough to hear, but at the end of the day, it's opinions from people that we might not ever see again. So we know our worth.
yeah,
I will say I personally have had problems with body dysmorphia, eating disorders. So, my first negative comment I ever received was a little rough, but thankfully I have friends. I work with my friends. I work with my friends. So, they keep me
no,
grounded.
no. Bella, tell me
But,
what would you describe as your perfect customer? Your
oh
perfect table.
gosh.
Let's say
Um,
a four top just walked in. What's perfect about them?
they are open-minded, welcoming, nice, and we have banter. They understand that I'm here to present them with the best time possible that they can have out, give them the best experience at wild pitch that they can have. But I'm also not there as a piece of ass. um, I think that would be my ideal customer. They understand that I'm there to make their time great, but I'm not there to be a piece of meat for them,
So
to
let's get into the fun stuff. I'm not saying that this hasn't been fun already, but people at home, I'm being brutally honest. Um, During this part of the conversation, um, because OnlyFans is a product and you have to pay for it.
Mhm.
Something I do want to ask you is when people come into your restaurant, sit at your table, find out that you're on OnlyFans, um, what is the response? Or do you tell people, hey, you can also follow me on OnlyFans as casually as you would say you can also follow me on Facebook?
So I try not to mention it at work just because I don't want to give the wrong impression. Um, to people that come into the restaurant, oh my God, she has OnlyFans. Like that's gonna be easy now.
Why is OnlyFans still getting such a bad rap? I don't
For
understand
some
it.
reason it does. I wish that it didn't. I wish that it could be, so casual like that. I've tried to make mine like that. There are certain regulars who, ask me, when you do make it, let me know. And yeah, I'll give them the link when I see them at work, just because I know they're not going to make it, into something that it shouldn't be, which again, I wish people didn't do. Um, but I market that on my Instagram, which is technically my work Instagram also and my personal Instagram, because I didn't
I'm
make
gonna
any
need you to
separate ones.
separate those things,
I know.
please.
I guess I'd never been in the industry, so I didn't think I would need to make a separate one,
Okay.
but yeah, I try not to approach that at work just because, I don't want to, you know, invite the wrong person there and then give the wrong impression. Because on my OnlyFans personally, I don't do full nude, because I am trying to get into the medical field eventually, and I don't want that to come back to me, which I don't know why that's such a big deal in the medical industry. I had a friend who was in nursing school and she got kicked out because she had OnlyFans. So I I do anywhere from implied nude to lewds to, you know, teasers. I'm fetish friendly, stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's just not full nude, is all.
Okay.
And I tell everyone that it's in my bio. I personally, the way that I work my OnlyFans is I'll post on my timeline, but it's mostly in the messaging, is where I do most of my content.
Okay.
And yeah, at work, I don't really approach it unless someone approaches me about it and they're like, "Wait, do you have OnlyFans?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I can give you the link. Send me your name on Instagram, and then I'll send you the link on there." Or I'll just write it down for them. But for some reason, when people try and look up my name on OnlyFans, they can't find it. They can only find it through the link. So I don't know why. But
Yeah, just send that link out because, there's a lot of different variations. People can put it in wrong and say you gave them the wrong name and X, Y,
yeah,
and Z. So,
the paywall is more of a guarantee. So I was debating OnlyFans for a really long time, actually. And a lot of my friends were like, "Dude, do it. Like it's good money and it's easy and it's on your terms." So I was like, "All right, I guess I'm gonna try it." Uh, First week that I did it, I had a bunch of people order content, and that was awesome. And I didn't want to have them paying for it unless they got their product. It's a business, like you said. I don't want someone paying for a product they haven't received yet. So people could order, and then I would let them know, like, right before I send it, you can pay. And then I found the paywall, and I started doing the paywall because people would have me make content, and then they would not actually pay for the content. So I was having a lot of problems with that,
yeah, that's an
unfortunately.
issue. I got you.
Yeah, so I'm taking time out of my day to make this content personalized for this person, and they end up never paying me for the product that I provided them with. Um, so the paywall is to make sure that I get paid. And since I've done that, I have not had a problem with it. People have paid me, and they've been satisfied with the product that they order. So hopefully it can continue to be that way.
Good question.
But okay.
How long do you see yourself working in the industry? What's your goal before you get into nursing school?
So, um,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say nursing school? Medical field.
no, 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 no.
Before you go
I
into
have a friend
medical.
who is nursing, but I'm medical field definitely.
Okay.
I ultimately want to do sonography. That's my goal.
Nice.
Um, I went from a bunch of different majors. Like I wanted to do radiation therapy, and then I was physician's assistant, and then respiratory therapy. Like so much.
Hmm.
But I think ultrasound tech is really what I want to do, just because I don't really like being confrontational, and I like making people's days brighter, not giving them bad news. So I feel
Yeah.
like ultrasound tech would be great for me. But I don't know really how long I see myself in the industry. I definitely want to be in this industry um while I'm in school. It's so flexible with my school schedule.
Hmm.
I took a semester off when I first moved here just because, I thought I was going to continue through. but I wanted to be able to focus on work and, get my money right and, not have to worry about doing a paper at midnight and then having work at 10 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, I think I've kind of found a good balance between social work and school. And I don't know, maybe within the next 5 years tops is how long I'll be in the industry. Because, in this industry, you can't be here forever. It's kind of impossible.
You know what? You say that, right? But there are some lifers. There
Definitely
are
people
some
have
lifers,
been some lifers, yeah.
and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you're, I guess, if you're growing, financially, if you're getting better, if maybe you're moving up, if you wanted to do management, Twin Peaks is great for this. Like, girls that work at Twin Peaks can become a manager, and then they can go off and work with a new franchise and X, Y, and Z. Like with Twin Peaks, you can really grow. So I know that there's a place for the lifers, and there's nothing wrong with that because this is a billion with a B dollar industry.
Oh, yeah.
And as you've seen, it's different in Florida, it's different in Texas, it's different in Tennessee, it's different. So you can just go and figure out where you fit in best, and figure out what position is gonna be best for you. Um, but I fully support your career in the medical field whenever you do decide to make that happen.
Oh, yeah.
And when I visited your restaurant, I met with the manager, Jay, and I'll tell you this flat out: there's not many, excuse me, that I've met, um, many managers that are actually as involved in the growth of the talent that work there. His customer service skills are excellent. I saw him go around before he knew I was there. He was going around to every table. He went around the bar twice. I mean, that guy's awesome. So about other J's, as y'all's franchise expands, because it's an amazing concept there in Frisco, Texas, and I'm hoping to see more open up. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Jay's
He's
awesome.
he's one of the best managers I've ever had in my entire life, and I've worked in a lot of places,
Mhm,
and I've never had a manager more involved and
mhm.
not one who's been more protective. Like he's like Papa Bear. Like you don't mess with his girls, and
Yep,
it's nice knowing that we have him, and
yep,
he has always been just such a supportive person. And
yeah,
he, like you said, he does a lot to help us grow, and he supports us in whatever our dreams are, and he cares. I've never met a manager who actually cares that much, so it's nice to have him and the rest of our management team as well. Like Mason and Clint, they all care, and they would never let anything happen to us, and it's nice to have that backbone, definitely.
that's awesome. Woo, go management. What she's saying about Wild Pitch is true. Place is fantastic. Staff is fantastic. Customer service is great. The food was amazing. Can't really say that at a lot of non-chain establishments. It was great. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Of course, we appreciate you, and thank you for the opportunity as well.
Absolutely. All right. So everyone, that is it for the first show. We are very excited that you were able to hang out with us again. My name is Rich. I am a Las Vegas promoter for the Hakkasan and Tao group. Text the number right here if you or your friends are coming to Vegas, 281-729-6500. That goes directly to this. And I'll get you set up. So everybody have a great day. We'll see you next time.